Nikki. I don't think we put anything this week there.
Okay.
Do you have items with you and
Yes.
agendas?
I mean, the main thing for me is just to get updates on the status of things.
All right. Okay, so real quick, we have it's just me here. We have Nikki. We have Emmanuel, Echoke. We have Kennedy, the intern. Alan is here. John Mwaura just came yesterday.
Okay.
So he's with us. And we have Duncan,
Oh.
the attaché. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say a quick hello to John and to Kennedy?
Yeah, he's asking what is he supposed to do? Shout hello or what?
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Very fine.
Good, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
When did you arrive?
Yesterday.
Okay.
I think I'm done settling down. By today, I think I'm set up well.
Great. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're very glad that you're joining us. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry I can't be there in person, but I'll be back soon enough.
Don't worry, we're taking care of him. No
Good.
problem. Yeah.
Okay.
You're in good hands.
Okay, Kennedy, he wants to say hi to the new guys. So.
Hi, Jonathan.
I can't exactly see you. Can you move a little bit over?
Okay.
Perfect. Kennedy, I'm sorry that there was some issues leading up to you starting, but I'm glad that you're here. Okay.
Okay.
And we expect big things.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll find some time to talk more later next week. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So what's going on? Nikki, do you want to start with an update of the sprint?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey JJ. So for the sprint, we are winding up on the two major stories, and that's for HIV summary indicators, and also the data entry statistics.
Great.
So for data entry statistics, I'm basically done. What is remaining is just to do the unit tests for reviews.
I'm hoping. I mean, I know I wrote some comments on the Jira, but are you using the same system that Alan's using, like by defining indicators in a JSON document, or no?
Yeah, I'm using that.
All right, great.
Yeah.
All right, because that way we can mix it up the indicators into new reports as we decide that we want to change, what clinicians or whoever wants to see. Okay.
Yeah. You need some further refactoring or rather making it more generic, but for now it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any test like builds that we have up? Because I know the one that was on test 1 was from the 26th. I looked in the web apps folder. There was a few of them that I saw, but
okay, right now I deployed one yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, test 1 NG MRS, and that's in that version basically you'll be able to test the patient creation statistics done by Alpha. So that's one of the items that will be there.
Okay. So I think
plus all the items that are in the state that need testing according to Jira.
Okay. How are we I mean, I know you wrote up the document for testing, but I'm not what's the easy way to do this so that basically I could be your tester, Kennedy can participate in testing as he's learning the system. But Willow was describing to me that when somebody's working on a ticket, they'll put a build, they'll create a build from their local machine and then just copy it into the test 1 web apps folder. Is that correct? Is that what we're doing?
Yes, that's what we are doing. So after you're done with your item, before it's merged, you're actually supposed to deploy that to that. And then the thing that probably is missing is people are supposed to put links on the tickets for that, the link to that.
On Jira.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we doing that or not really?
Yeah, we are doing that in some cases. In some cases, we are not. So that's improvement.
And then who tests it?
So we've been having Duncan. Duncan has been testing some of them.
Okay.
Then if the state is still in needed testing needed, then probably it's not been tested and somebody else can test it maybe.
Okay. All right. So Duncan is the main person then that's testing besides the dev who's actually doing the work. Is that right?
Yes, Duncan is the main guy who's testing.
Okay. All right. So that's fine. So I'll communicate then with Duncan a little bit better. But I think for small tickets, that's fine. For anything that's, I don't know how much you're putting up to test, but if you're putting up the whole like data entry statistics thing, then it's probably good to involve another dev as well. But I know that, we don't want to spend all our time testing. So just something that has a little bit more of a sign off. And then really anytime that somebody puts up a build, if that person can just email me the build and I'll try and test it as well. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, now since I'm here, I tend to have more time I have less meetings and more time to spend on the computer. So let's take advantage of that fact. Okay.
Okay.
All right. How many do you think we're on track to finish?
Yeah, Alan told me he's expected to finish whatever he's working on today.
Okay.
For myself, yeah, if I'm done with the unit test, then we'll have no technical debt. But the item is done for me.
Wonderful. All right. So the demo and the retrospective, it's a little bit trickier because if we do it at the time that we've been doing it, I have to wake up at midnight. So it might be better to try and do it at 3 p.m. your time tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Does that sound all right?
Alan, 3 p.m. tomorrow.
No, sorry, not tomorrow. 3 p.m. Friday. Friday.
Oh, it's Friday.
Okay. Yeah, Friday is okay. It's fine.
Not tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll plan for.
Okay, 3 p.m. Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Willa, updates on your side?
Yeah, so well, my work on Elastic, and there are two pieces, so I've been trying to wrap my head around. The first is to fetching data is yeah, it has been a bit challenging, even though it is fine. I've been trying to basically what I've been trying to do is trying different strategies of getting data from reporting to the ETL server.
Yeah.
And there's one strategy that is working right now, although I don't think it will be the last way of doing it if I don't figure out the way of doing it in a more elegant way than what I'm doing right now. So I just found I used a lot of time on that, and the other thing I'm working on is, so you remember we asked you about some of the definition of the indicators we're going to define.
Right.
For MOH 731. So I'm trying to piece together an application that is going to be querying the Elasticsearch and then kind of creating the REST endpoint that's going to give you those REST endpoints.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Is
what
it
I'm
generic, or are you just doing it very specific for right now?
Huh?
Are you just doing it like very hard coded? Like, you know, essentially what we need to do, and we don't need to do it on this sprint, but in the same way that Alan was creating that JSON document to represent indicators, we probably will need to do the same thing for Elastic. You know, and eventually we'll even need a front end and a back end. So rather than just storing these things as files, we'll actually put them in a database as JSON strings that will just get loaded. And that way we can dynamically build reports based on the existing indicators.
Yeah, you can.
But we don't need to, that's where the stuff with Elastic will have to go. But for now, the goal is just to see what's possible.
Yeah, actually, I like that idea. Yeah, because I was trying to make the query very dynamic, and it's tricky. It can be a bit dynamic, but it's tricky. The idea of storing the indicators in the database is good. So, but the thing is, the problem with that approach, you are actually, for somebody to be able to use or extend, then you're gonna have to have them learn the query, the QDSL for Elasticsearch, which is not what we want. We actually want to, I think we're trying to create a framework whereby somebody can just define things and say, okay, I need to report for these things, and then you get them, right?
You know, what I find is that, you know, analyzing data is trickier than we realize, and that I don't know what skills we expect somebody to have to be able to build, you know, data sets and reports. So I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves in trying to build a tool that somebody can use other than ourselves. And so what I imagine is that just like in ETL, we have a column that says, like, is pregnant. We would have an indicator for Elastic that does the same thing, is pregnant. And then somebody like you, I mean, not a non-developer, would then figure out how to combine those types of things together into more advanced indicators. So you could combine is pregnant with on ARVs to get the patients who are pregnant and on ARVs. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But
okay.
It's more that we want to ensure that there's transparency over how we're defining these. Not, I mean, I know I looked at the queries that Eric built, at least the initial ones, and you know, they're obviously very long, those JSON documents. And it's not all that easy to just read through them and figure out what's going on. But what I imagine is that you have a page where you know, basically the table for indicators would have like a name, the JSON definition, a description, okay, date created, some, you know, version history. And so that if, let's say, another investigator or clinician was interested, they could just go onto whatever site we're using to host this information. They could say, all right, I want to make a report that has, you know, is whatever, patients who are pregnant and on ARVs and so forth. Okay. And then we could construct it, you know, and it wouldn't be that much work to just basically put together a report definition, which references these indicators. Okay. And then any report will then take some parameters, you know, a time period, location, and so forth. All right, but we'll get there. I mean, the first step for us was just, can we get stuff into Elastic, and can we query it in the way that we want to?
Yeah, you can try. By the way, you can try to play with Elastic that has the 58 million records on ETL. It's You go to etl.ampath.or.ke/elastic.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you can use that.
Is that what I would use for, like, within my Sense extension?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, any EC client, Science, whatever.
But I mean,
Postman,
that's just the Elastic interface, right? That's the REST interface, or the Elastic server. That's not an app that you've written.
No, that's not the app. That's Elastic. I'm giving you this if you want to play with the
No, I
substantially.
do. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you can do that. The challenge with the thing is, yeah, there's another thing about Elastic, not Elastic, about the document structure we've decided to use. The challenge is sometimes when you are, the thing is you have these documents that they are the ops, right?
Right.
Now, what you discovered is, for example, when you are trying to find the patients who are not dead, the thing is the patient who is dead has documents both that indicate they're dead and they have documents that indicate they're not dead because they're ops, right? So when you say, get me the documents that do not have dead in it, yeah, you get them, but you include the patients. Literally, you get all the patients who are dead also, because they also have ops that have no dead in them. So there are things like those that we need to.
I was thinking about it, looking at Eric's queries, which is that the thing that I don't know if Elastic has is like a case data structure, or not structure, but conditional, because basically you need some way of saying if this is true, then it may be that we have to rethink whether we could put ops as our main thing, or at least for some of our questions, it might be that we need to put everything in the structure of an encounter and do it that way, a document of an encounter. But what I think has to probably happen, and I don't know what you guys have done to address this, is that you probably need to have some like JavaScript code that's processing the results from the queries.
Yeah, that you could do that, but the thing is, I don't really like going that way, because the reason we wanted to use Elasticsearch is because we wanted to shift the work to Elasticsearch. Now, if you're going to do the processing in the JavaScript, then you are going to do exactly the same thing you were trying to avoid, right?
No, because what you let Elastic do is make subsets for you, and it can do that really fast. And if you define your subsets well, then you can make the subset small enough that then it's not expensive to use like some coding conventions to finish up the job. But I agree with you. It would be preferential if we can define our document structures in a way that Elastic can do all of the work. But one thing that I don't even think it's possible in Elastic to address is, so say you have a patient that comes in January and that's on drugs, okay,
yeah,
on ARBs, and then they come back in March.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
And they didn't tick that they were on drugs anymore, right?
Yeah.
How do you know that they're on drugs? So in the SQL queries that I wrote, basically you just keep track of the kind of state of the patient from one encounter to the next, and then use the information to fill in gaps if it's not available. So
yeah.
Now the thing is that when I'm doing that, I'm already using a flattened table, right? And so and this is what Burke was suggesting initially, which is that it might be that we can't do our Elastic searches for reporting on raw data, but that we still need to create our own like ETL-like documents in Elastic, which is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, rather than just putting obs in, you have some query, you have some cron jobs that are always running and looking to see if new data's come in, and then updating the ETL data for that patient. And then the reporting queries will be off of that. Okay. But there's value to having the obs in there, you know. So that's why that's why I thought it was an appropriate way to get started, because basically with the ETL stuff, every time you want to ask a question, you're really limited to what you put in your ETL tables. Having the OBS in there, we can ask a lot of questions now that we can get at least the beginning answers to, and we can get them quickly. So right now, if I try and query MySQL on the OBS table, and I try and do any sort of grouping on the value, let's say a concept ID plus value numeric, say I want to do something with viral loads across all the patients or some subset, it's extremely slow. But in Elastic, we can actually do that really fast. I'm hoping that it will be really fast.
Yeah, it is. It is fast. It is fast enough.
So I'm not like, there's value to like this process that you're going through right now. First put in the OBS, understand the limitations that Elastic creates for you, and then we'll refactor and think about, do we need to update what kind of document we're putting in. This is why I don't want you to get too caught up with the perfect way of getting data into Elastic, because for starters, with the data import, which is that you have your initial like gigantic mass, right? And that probably requires its own solution to But the thing to me for this few weeks was that you guys.
Okay. Hello.
Willa.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you hear me?
I can hear you now. You're breaking up.
Okay. So I was just saying that for these past 3, you guys really get to understand the basics of Elastic. Actually being able to do sophisticated reporting is not really an endpoint. And what do you think that you've come that far, or do you think there's still a lot to learn, or what's your status of your?
I think I've learned a lot, and there are some things that we might want to start doing, especially if you try to build that report and see where we get with it.
Yeah.
It will be a very good exercise. Yeah.
Okay. So
even using these tabs, even before trying to maybe change the way we are structuring the documents.
Okay.
Then that should be fine. Yeah.
All right. Is the data, the OBS data, the 57 million documents, is that from production, or is that test data?
From production.
Now,
it doesn't have any patient identifying information.
I mean, the only thing.
Okay.
Data we generally.
Huh?
Sometimes they have.
No, not Scorpion. This is developers. So.
You hear me?
No, not exactly. You're breaking up. The connection, I think, is getting bad. It's getting worse with time.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So
the important thing is what's or not the important thing, but what do you think? How far into the report do you think you guys will be able to demonstrate on Friday?
The report?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, maybe I can say about the queries, not the report, because we don't. The report, it means putting together all the.
No. Don't worry about that. I just want to know how many questions can you answer on that report?
I'll have to look at that actually.
Okay. The more the better, because I think it's not so much the more the better, but what would be really good for you guys to do is to carefully review each row and ask yourselves whether it's like an example of like a new strategy that you have to use. Okay, because what doesn't really matter to me, because the report's not going to be accurate, so I don't really care about completeness. But what's important is that you like understand the limitations that our approach right now is creating. Can you hear me? Just
Yeah.
so I don't. Okay. And so as you go through the report, try and think about whether the question that's on the report is like a new way of having to get data. Okay. And make sure that you can at least try to get through as many of those as possible so that you can get you thinking about what workarounds we might need to do moving forward. Okay?
All right.
All right. How was the meeting just now with the clinicians?
Nikki, talk about that.
Yeah, the meeting to me was a success because at least they gave us some quite a bit of important feedback that we could improve on our side. And yeah, I think we caught most of the things during the development, but you know, the devil is in the details. So if we take care of a few things,
okay,
they'll be more happy. But
okay. What were some of the? Did they tell you just things that they didn't like, or did you like feel like proud of the like work that you guys have been doing? Like, did they tell you good things too, or did they just tell you bad things?
Okay, to me, the bad things they mentioned wasn't really on the app itself. It was it was other things. Like, for example, they don't like that they have to do double entry. The other thing is that they kept complaining about the way they want a desktop.
They want new chairs.
They want new chairs, things like those. Then also some issues to do with terminologies came up.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're used to some certain terms, e.g. pneumonia, but in the forms they're getting totally different terms. Then they didn't like the way the forms is structured, in that they're being asked related things in different pages. I would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the new adult form should address that.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the things they mentioned were addressed, other than
WHO stage.
Yeah, things like staging. WHO staging.
Okay.
Yeah, they seem to cry a lot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, Bonnie had been telling me that they've been asking for desktops, but what I tried to emphasize to him is that, you know, we have to look at this as a design problem. You know, it's not possible to put desktops in, you know, 95% of the places where we're going to be using this.
Okay.
So, like, what we need to do is understand what limitations they're seeing in the tablets and then fix them, because my guess is that many of them we can fix.
In a nutshell, the problem, I think what I witnessed or what I heard is the form. Basically, everything they're talking about, most of the stuff, probably 90 or more than 90% is just about the form. The form is too long. There are too many tabs. You are like, it seems like you're repeating things. You have TB section here, then 5 sections later you still find another TB section. We want to see triage information on the form. We don't want to be opening the triaging counter to see that information once it's already there. Yeah. So it's just about the form. We don't like the way pneumonia is displayed on the whole staging. Why is it not there? Why it is something that is prevalent here? Okay. So things like this. So you'll notice that is the things that have to do with the form. So it seems like most of the work has to be done on the way the form is organized, and maybe cut down the things that are not necessary on that form, make it short, and then maybe people would not complain much about filling the form, because from one of the clinicians was saying, okay, she's sitting there trying to see the patient, but she doesn't spend that much with the patient because she's trying to get the form filled. Since if she stops and maybe attends something else, when she comes back, she might need to redo the whole thing again, and it's just too long. Yeah. So
why would she need to redo it? Is she afraid that it will stop working in the middle of it?
yeah, because sometimes they say when you run.
Also the issue with having to go back to the patient dashboard to view the summaries. So
Okay.
that makes them have to refill the form again.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, for example, you want to see something. The thing is, when you move away from the form, basically the form is gone.
Yeah.
So,
Now, one of the tickets for this sprint was to fix that. Is that right? Did we get to that?
Yeah, that's fixed. You can play around with that. It's in test.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's a work in progress. I mean, you know, the advantage, what I realized that for all of you for doing future projects, you know, sometimes we wait to show people things because we're embarrassed that they're not ready or they don't meet the final version. But what I have realized is that, you know,
JJ,
yeah, am I breaking up?
1 second.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Can you just say it loud?
Okay, I was saying,
Yeah.
you see, the ticket was 1 point.
I don't think he hears you.
No,
Okay.
I can hear him. I can hear him.
Okay.
Okay, I was saying the ticket for doing that, the thing with maintaining the data was 1 point. So it meant we had only to do for the tabs on the clinic dashboard. They're the ones who maintain data when you navigate through the tabs on the clinic dashboard. But for the forms, it has not been done yet, but it's pretty much the same thing.
He's talking of another item. That's basically navigating between clinic dashboard and the patient dashboard without losing states in any of the dashboards. But what you're talking about is the summaries, the vitals, the cycle summaries. We've taken
Okay, I'll
that.
take a look. I mean, we have a problem, which is that the vitals data, you know, it may be that we need to come up with a quick hack to get this solved before next week. But, you know, the vitals data in the ETL table is not current. So the data that they submit through the triage form won't show up unless it's been, you know, basically every hour, I think on the hour, the ETL tables run. So if triage happens less than 1 hour from when the patient gets seen, then the vitals data won't be updated.
JJ,
Yeah.
why do you need to pull the vitals data from the ETL? No, I mean, yeah, you do need to pull them. What I'm saying is, if the triage form is already been filled, why do you need to wait for the data to go to that system and then pull it again and see? Why you can see the triage encounter, right? So it's just a matter of how are we going to make it visible when somebody is actually filling the form, and if they want to see something, they can go and see it without losing whatever they've already entered in.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying instead of using ETL, we probably just need to write some function that, like a directive that we can put in the form, okay? Or just put it at the top of the form. Like, it doesn't have to be in the form itself. It could be like under the patient name that has, you know, that retrieves the most recent triage encounter, gets the OBS, and then displays the vitals that were taken.
Yeah, it would be done that way. That would be nice.
It's just that you know what originally it would just be nice for the ETL tables to be updated frequently enough that this wasn't a problem, but that's probably not realistic.
It will still be a problem because we'll still need to navigate to go to the, what do you call that, summary? Vitals, yeah, the vitals tab. Once you go there, you're losing the data, so you still have that issue, even if the data was available on that tab.
Alright, I don't want to be annoying, but oh, this is looking good. The patient summary information. But I don't like this font that you're using for forms. We switched fonts. Is there a reason?
You switched fonts. Is there a reason for that? I think Nick is the one who did it.
Oh,
The fonts. The form. The fonts for the form.
the fonts for the form.
No. On the patient dashboard, when you click on forms, and then it has a list of the forms, you change the font. Looks like.
Oh, you don't like the font?
No.
You don't like it?
Sorry,
It's awesome.
I think we just increased the size.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
remember-
it's definitely a different font because I have a test version on my. Oh, maybe it is just the size. I don't know. But it's smaller. On the version that I have on my local machine, it's a different font. It looks different. I'll send you screenshots. You can compare.
Yeah, it has the plus sign.
No,
Right next to it.
that part's I don't think new, but the font. Anyway, I'll send you screenshots. All right. So did you feel any sort of satisfaction from what the developers were telling you, or was it mainly negative?
From the clinicians?
Yeah.
Oh, it was very satisfactory. Yeah.
Okay, because I think we need to continue to build that relationship and not just we need to work as collaboratively as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they'll be more pleased if they for the suggestions they made, if we're able to implement them and they're able to see them,
Yeah.
that it encourages them to.
Okay. I mean, it would be nice to figure out how to get them involved in some of the testing that we do, but I don't know exactly how to do that.
Yeah, they seem to be too busy. I don't know.
They're definitely not too busy.
Oh, they're not? That's good to know then. Then you might find some way of doing them. Yeah.
If you show up at a clinical officer's patient room between after 2 p.m., they have nothing to do. So.
Yeah, I think
The clinical officer's perspective of busy is not the same one as you might use for yourself.
it's very different actually.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, good work, everybody. If you can, Nikki, if there's more than one test build to check out, then just email me all the builds so I can look at them. If there's just one, then I'll just look at the one. Because I imagine that people have not. There's a lot of Jira tickets that are like in testing, and so I'm assuming that many of them haven't been merged to master.
Okay, I would say most of them are in that build.
Okay.
For one that Emmanuel recently completed.
Okay.
For the rest of the items that are in test states,
Okay.
the NGMRS.
All right. And I know Eric was at this NASCOP meeting. Is he back today, or when's he come back?
No, he's not.
Is he back tomorrow?
I hope so, yeah. I think he'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
He was supposed to be here today. I don't know what happened.
I'm already here. It's only that I can't make it.
Wow. All right. All right. Eric, do we need to go over any of these things, or you're okay for now?
Say that again?
No, I was just asking Eric. There was a few emails that I'd sent to him. One regarding the indicators, two about, an aside thing about form entries not loading the data into the pediatric form. But I imagine you haven't had a chance to look at those since you've been at the conference.
No, I've not had a chance to look at the form entry issue, but I think for reporting stuff, yeah, I tried to look at some of them.
Okay.
Even though the some of them I think we can talk about them because we might not be able to pull the data directly from ETL. We'll need some other methods to kind of just process whatever ETL generates so that we can have the final numbers.
Okay. I'm not sure. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, Kennedy and John, and looking forward to the demo on Friday.
All right.
Oh, and then is there people that we need to invite to the demo on Friday? Should we invite the clinicians?
Who is do you usually invite them, or is it Bonnie who is handling all this stuff?
No, Bonnie will handle. I'm just asking for your suggestions.
Okay,
It
I would
depends.
say
Sorry,
I would
Nikki, when is the demo?
the demo is on Friday
At what time? At what time?
3.
p.m.
Yeah, if it's 3, yeah, it's possible to invite the clinicians because they will not be, after, if it's in the afternoon, we can invite them so that some of the issues they have raised and also just see how we have implemented that as well.
Okay.
I think it's important that we also demonstrate the other features and how to use them, because I noticed for some of them they didn't know that some of these features existed.
Okay. So let's do a demo with them on Friday. Okay.
All right.
If possible. If they're not available, we'll have to find another time. But I think it would be very good to kind of go through it more thoroughly with them.
I'm going to talk to Bonnie about that right now. Yeah.
All right. Talk to everyone on Friday.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Eric, stay on.
Okay.
Vipi boss?
Poa, vipi?
Uko Nairobi au umesharudi hapa LD?
Nimeingia LD, flight ilichelewa, that's why I couldn't make it to the meeting.
Ah, okay. No, I thought, Rajua, when you left, I thought you were coming, you will be here in the morning.
No, my flight was actually scheduled at 2. At 2:30. My flight was at 2:30, but tumetoka Nairobi around 3.
Okay.
So nimefika airport nimefika 4, then nimechukua some time kufika, nikaamua nikuje tu kwa nyumba straight.
Yeah. Mambo kwa maisha kwa nyumba.
Sasa nimeona badala ya kuhustle nikuja hapo tena ni hustle kurudi kwa nyumba, nikuje kwa nyumba niendelee tu na shughuli za kazi.